Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm in my flat in Rochester. The time is, Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 8:59 p.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday, the 24th of July.
First of all, I just want to say something about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan has passed away. Uh, Looks like he had a heart attack. Hulk Hogan. For anybody that doesn't know who Hulk Hogan was, he was a wrestler. Alexa, who was Hulk Hogan?
Terry Gene Bollea, better known by his ring name Hulk Hogan, was an American professional wrestler. He was best known for his work with WWE and World Championship Wrestling. Known for his flamboyance and massive physique, and his trademark blonde horseshoe mustache and bandanas, Hogan was widely regarded as the most recognized wrestling star worldwide. The most popular wrestler of the 1980s and one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
So Hulk Hogan's name was Terry. Terry. Alexa, when did Hulk Hogan die?
On July 24th, 2025, pro wrestling legend Hulk Hogan, born Terry Gene Bollea, passed away at the age of 71. He reportedly passed after suffering a possible cardiac arrest at his home in Clearwater, Florida.
So that's two legends gone within a week. Ozzy Osbourne and now Hulk Hogan. So that's horrible news. Horrible. I've just come back from a day out in Margate and someone else has gone. Another legend has gone. So, guys, I went to Margate today. Margate in Kent in the United Kingdom. I haven't been in a live stream today. I've not done any live streaming and I don't really want to do any live streaming. Not for the near future. I don't know what is in the internet, but it's sinister and I don't want to be a part of it. Whether it's witchcraft, devil worship, black magic, whatever it is, I don't want to be a part of it. So I'm staying out of live streaming for the time being. I just don't like what's going on. To me, it's sinister. Ever since I read that piece on Tattle Life about myself and the toying with celebrities' lives, betting on who was going to die next in there, I'm not interested anymore. It's like the underworld. It's like black, it's sinister, and I don't want to be a part of it. Right? It's not going to stop. I know that because whoever started on me in Tattle Life, it's just going round and round in circles. So it's something I have to live with, but I don't like it. So today I went on the train to Margate, and the train going down to Margate was packed, and it was noisy. It was very noisy. There was a couple of girls sat in front of us on the train, and I could hear everything they were saying. They were taking photos of something and posting it to da 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 da. There was yelling. It was loud. There was people talking on their phones loud right next to me and who I was sat with. It was bloody awful. It was awful. It was terrible. The whole train, everyone on it was loud. Everyone. Not just one person, the whole lot of them. Loud. I could hear all their conversations on their mobiles, whether they wanted me to hear it or not. I heard it. I was so effing glad to get off that train. If you didn't have a headache, you would have had a headache getting off it. Right? My son kindly brought me down something to eat. So I've still got it in my handbag. I haven't eaten it yet. So I don't know what's happening to the food in this country, but it's absolutely disgusting. Vile. The food tastes like shit. People are so damn rude. All of them on their phones, every one of them, talking loud. Everyone was. I never said a word. I was with somebody, but it was doing my ears in. I said to my relative, I said, have you got earphones? My God. My son had written an email to Vince Maple, an MP, about the harassment I've been getting from the neighbours. And everyone on that effing train was making noise. Everyone. Every single person was outlandish, loud, rude. Every one of them. I thought, is this a joke? What the fucking hell is going on here? And the train was so packed you couldn't move. You couldn't move to another seat. It was jam-packed full. It was absolutely bulging with people. So I couldn't move anywhere. So for 3/4 of an hour, I'm stuck on a train with da 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 da. Could hear every word everyone was saying. I don't know if they were aware that they're private conversations. I could hear every word. And had I been on my own, I would have taped it. But because I was with someone, I didn't. And the rudeness, the disgusting behaviour of grown adults was vile. And they weren't foreign, they were British people. So I put up with this continuous noise nuisance for the whole journey. I got off the train and I had a banging headache. Anyone would. It was awful. Grown women. I don't want to hear what someone had for lunch, what someone was doing next week, or what they were doing with their boyfriend, but you could bloody hear everything. Got off the train and we walked to the beach. First stop was the beach, and the weather wasn't lovely. It wasn't sunny. It was overcast, and it was spitting with rain. But I love that kind of weather because had it been hot and sunny, it would have been a downside worse. It would have been worse. When we got off the train, the railway platform was packed. There was a man with an eye patch wearing a dress. A grey-haired man with an eye patch wearing a kimono, a Japanese kimono. An old man with an eye patch over one eye wearing a Japanese kimono. Because I asked my son, I said, that old white guy is wearing looks like a skirt. He went, it's a Japanese dress. I struggled to get up the stairs. There were so many people. It was overcrowded, packed. Massive amount of people got off of the station, and I just needed to breathe. So we got off and we went to the beach first of all, and we just took photos of the beach, and I put my toes in the water, and then we went into the amusement arcades, and they're loud, aren't they? The machines going loud and the music and everything. And to start with, it was quiet in the amusement arcade, and then people come in and they start pushing you about and shit. But I didn't lose my temper with anybody. we spent quite a bit of time in the amusement arcades, and of course they're all scams. The cranes don't pick anything up. I got my son won one thing on the crane machine. I believe this is a Pokemon toy. A Pokemon toy. So 3 goes for £1, and my son won this. There was people showing off in front of us. My son wanted to win me a soft toy, and that somehow these people were winning things which was impossible to win on, and they were coming out laughing with Labubus. There was £5 and £10 in the machines, money everywhere. And some of the machines were damaged and weren't working properly. I lost about £3 in machines that weren't working properly. They weren't working. The cranes weren't picking anything up. The 2p machines weren't as good as they were 2 years ago. They were crap. They weren't knocking anything off. I just didn't win anything really, but somehow these guys were coming out with the £10 in front of me anyway. I don't know if my son saw it, but I saw people coming out with Labubus, Pokemon toys, but me and my son, we won nothing at all really. Not really. We spent a lot of money and we were getting nothing out of it. But I don't know how other people were. It just felt like fake and put on, because it was so hard to win out of that machines, and then you've got somebody laughing in your face like I've got this and I've got that, but I smiled to myself. I enjoyed it, but those machines were scams. They were rigged not to win. Even the fruit machines, I didn't win 10p, so you end up putting a £5 in there and getting nothing out of it. Complete con. But it's a once in a blue moon that I go out anywhere, so I was damn well going to enjoy myself even if I did lose some money. So there you go. So from the arcade machines we went into a cafe called Beano's, which is in Margate, almost opposite the clock tower, which kept chiming in at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever. And there were foreign guys serving in there, and I just looked through the menu and I wanted an omelette. My son said Margate chips are lovely, they're wonderful. So I thought we'd have some chips, so I chose omelette and chips and a strawberry milkshake. And they welcomed us in the cafe, and we sat down, and for me the food was disgusting. It was absolutely horrible, and I felt sorry for my son who'd paid for the meal. And again, had I been on my own, I would have said, I'm very sorry, but I can't eat this. It was undercooked, absolutely undercooked. It was like rubber. It was disgusting. I left almost all my dinner. I couldn't eat. It was inedible. Beano's cafe in Margate was disgusting. The milkshake was a funny colour. It wasn't even the colour of a milkshake. It was pale, like an anemic milkshake. It was horrible. But again, I was with somebody, and I said, you've paid for the meal. I'm sorry, I can't eat it. Undercooked chips, absolutely. I'm surprised I wasn't ill. I'm not going to embarrass somebody. So we left there, and my son treated me to an ice cream. And it took away the nasty taste of that food. The food was vile. So I had an ice cream with a flake in it, and that was lovely. That tasted lovely. Jersey cream ice cream. That was tasty with a flake in. That was A++. That was lovely. But the dinner was disgusting. An omelette is supposed to be soft and fluffy. It was like eating rubber. It's horrible. So we had an ice cream. I think we went back to the beach for a bit, and then we had a wander around Dreamland in the rain because it started pouring down with rain. But I had a wonderful time. It was just other people trying to spoil it, as per usual. Loud, noisy, rude. It's unnecessary. It's being horrible. I've got a few things to show you, and I'll go over it more tomorrow because I am really knackered. So we've got a fridge magnet with Margate on. My son went to Eastbourne and he brought me back a magnet. My son went to Eastbourne and he brought me back a magnet. Got a cup from Margate. The prices of things are overpriced. They're well overpriced. Absolutely overpriced, but it was a once in a blue moon that I go out anywhere, so Margate cup. I don't know why people get kicks out of being rude to me and horrible. When my son, he went to Eastbourne, so he brought me back some nugget and some Eastbourne rock. Got to excuse the mess everywhere. I've obviously come home. I'm knackered. We've got some peppermint nugget as well. Peppermint. It's just totally unnecessary. Why do people have to be so nasty and rude? Right, and the train coming back home, yeah? So my son and I gets on a train, and it's a slow train going through to St Pancras, but it's really slow. So like it's stopping at every station. And my son and I sat next to a couple. And they were chatting away, laughing and giggling. But that wasn't too bad because they got off. I think they got off at Sittingbourne. They got off at Sittingbourne. And then the train announcer said that there was a faster train to St Pancras International. Now the train we was on was going to Victoria, and my son needed to get to St Pancras. So he said he was going to have to get off at Rochester. So there was a faster train. So my son and I got off the train going to Victoria, and we got on the train going to St Pancras that was faster. And that train was absolutely fucking horrible. It was loud. It was noisy. It was making me angry. First of all, there was this woman, and she must have been in her 40s. And these people should know better. They're adults. And she was about 3 seats down, and she kept talking about someone with hairy armpits. Like this smelly woman with hairy armpits and spotty socks. Oh, she had hairy armpits. Well, I shave mine. I don't know if you can see, guys. I don't really like doing this. But I haven't got hairy armpits. I shave them. I shave my armpits. You might have like a 5 o'clock shadow, but I haven't got hairy armpits. I shave them. I have a shower almost every day and I shave my armpits, and I'm certainly not wearing spotty socks. That isn't hair, that's just dark. Because where you shave, you know, the hair grows back almost instantly, right? So when I have a shower, I shave my armpits. So this woman kept talking about a woman with armpits, and I was getting on my nerves. And then a group of, there was a rumpus, like a trouble at the bottom of the carriage. And these kids were laughing and off their heads, and I thought they were trying to stop the train. But apparently they were making a noise outside the lavatory. And then they started singing a song about teeth. Teeth. And then someone went, at the back of the train. So this, when I was walking around the field, I said it felt like the trolls in the live stream were on the fucking train. Because they take the piss out of my teeth. Rooster comes in. Terry comes in. Rooster comes in. So I've had enough of fucking TikTok live. I've had enough of it. I don't know who's coming into my live stream, but it felt like the fuckers were on that train. They were opening cans behind my back. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This happened about 5 or 6 times whilst I was on 2 trains. Right behind my back. This. They're intimidating, they're hostile, they're frightening people. Anyway. Yes, I did feel scared at one point, but I was with somebody. So, they're obviously intimidating and doing that on purpose. I don't know who they are. It's different people each time. So my son carries on up to St Pancras International. I feel intimidated. I feel scared. And I have to get off the train at Rochester by myself. And there was 2 people in the middle of the stairs. So 2 guys on the stairs, and I'm tired. I've been on my feet for 7 hours with small breaks, and there's people obstructing the stairwell, a man and a woman. So I just go to the side and walk down the side, and then there's a funny man with grey hair in a ponytail. It looks a bit like Graham, who I went out with. About 90 years old, this bloke standing on the bottom of the stairs. I can't get past, so I wait for him to move, and then I go and try to get my ticket. It's an electronic ticket. There's blokes all by the ticket barriers. My ticket's been paid for by my son, and when I try to get through the barriers, the ticket won't go through, right? And there's about 5 male members of staff, men. Remember, I'm a woman. About 5 male members of staff watching me struggle to get my ticket through the machine, just standing there talking to each other. And eventually, Max don't. After about 7 times of trying to get my ticket through the machine, one of them eventually comes over and he's sarcastic to me. Oh, that ticket was supposed to be for a certain train and you've got on the wrong one, that's why. Sarky to me, sarcastic. I just said nothing. I just stood there until my ticket was paid for, so I stood there until he let me through, and he was like officious and sarcastic. that made me feel shitty. And then there was like kids kicking balls at the railway station when I was getting off. Boys kicking balls towards the railway station as I was coming out of the railway station. My son said to me, "Have you got home okay?" I felt terrible. I did get home okay. There was a parcel waiting for me down the stairs, which was untouched. And it was in this pink packaging. I'm Crystal. So it was left on the floor untouched for me. Got D on it. D. That's mine. And I picked it up and I came up the stairs. And there was also some post, the Royal on it. Royal. Post with Royal on it. Anyway, it was some kind of like, here it is, the cat sat on it. The RSPB magazine, and they were laughing on the train about my teeth. They were laughing at me on the train about my teeth. And this is what I come home to. They was all laughing at me about my teeth. Very mature people. Very mature indeed. Very intelligent people. There's people dying in this world. There's people homeless. There's people in need of help. And it's funny to do that. So, RSPB, Royal, full of actors and actresses on that fucking train, taking the piss out of me. Like I said, had I hadn't been with somebody, I would have taped those kids laughing at my teeth. I would have taped it. And I have to take my dog out for a walk. And there's a load of bullying afterwards. Of course there is bullying. Because they're spiteful bastards. They ain't going to stop. It's going to get worse. Because I'm fighting for my freedom. And I can't live with my son. No. And that, Anyway, so Max and I go out the back. And there's a couple laughing in my face. I recorded it. I taped it. Trying to provoke me, laughing, because my son's gone up to London and I've come back to my flat on my own, and they think they're going to start playing and toying about with me and bullying me. So this couple come towards me and he's got a hood over his head and she's laughing her head off. Deliberately laughing in my face and not giving a shit. What can I do about it? So I carry on down. There's a bloke with a cap and a brown dog. He goes there, and I just want to take my dog for a walk around the block, but I can't because there's too many people. So I go onto the field. And there's a staged incident. Which I mean, I didn't have much camera footage. I managed to get the loose dogs. This woman was crazy, mad. So I go onto the field, with Max, and Max is a tiny chihuahua. This woman has got two big dogs. And she's wandering willy-nilly over the field. I don't know whether she was drunk, she was on drugs, or she was mental. I don't know. So she kept following me around the field and trying to provoke an incident. And I kept walking out the way. I could see there was something wrong with her. Anyway, she's got a dog whistle, right? But the dogs aren't coming. They're not coming to her when she's whistling. They're not coming to her. What's the use of a dog whistle if your dog doesn't respond to the whistle? So she's fucking miles away from the dogs. There is two dogs running loose towards Max. and Max is pissed off. He's tiny, and these dogs are big, and she's miles away from the dog. And what gets me is, why have the dogs still got the fucking leads attached to the collar? Why have the dogs got the leads? So they're running willy-nilly around the field, upsetting my dog, and they've got the leads attached to the collar. So I'm livid, I'm pissed off. I wanted to go home, and her dogs are preventing me from going where I want to fucking go. So I start fucking saying, fucking hell, what the fuck? And I managed to get away from these dogs that are harassing my dog and turn round, and she stood in the middle of the path trying to be a nuisance. So we've got one dog running loose towards me and Max with the lead attached to its neck, and she's tied the one dog to the bench. So how can I get past her? So I've got her in my way and a dog there. So she's there, her dog is tied to a bench, and it's, pulling towards me and Max. And Max barks at the dog. He's had enough. And she starts on Max. She starts on Max. She starts on my dog. I'm sorry, I'll tell her to piss off. I just told her to piss off. I said, piss off. She was rude to my dog. And he's not doing anything. He's defending himself. And I told her to piss off. I've had enough of all their bullying. I've fucking had enough of it. She went, say that to my face. I just went off. Piss off. I've been on my feet for 7 hours. She can't control her dogs, and she starts picking on mine, who's on the lead. Well, one of hers is wandering off, fucking doing what it likes. Why have you fucking tied your dog to a bench? And I just walked off. Told her to piss off. That was staged, absolutely. I don't care anymore. You spend all your life being nice and soft and letting them get away with things. I just tell it, just piss off. So I'm going to show you my parcel. Well, if it is a Royal Mail taking the piss out of me, good luck to you. This bag, Finding Nemo. It's a bag. Yeah, I treated myself to a bag. TikTok shop. It's got handles. Well worth the money this bag was. Absolutely lovely. And if I go away somewhere, this is a nice little bag to put your bits and pieces in. It's lovely. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's wonderful. The free gift. You just couldn't make this up. What do you think the free gift was? Hairbands? Claw clip? No. A poo pen! A poo pen! Was it Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, out of a poo pen? You couldn't make it up, could you? A poo pen, the free gift. And it really does, Max, it really does look like Max, a steaming turd. It's shiny. Shiny shit. And that's what they gave me as a free gift, guys. A poo pen. My son wrote to Vince Maple telling him what the guy did upstairs. Everything throwing things on the balcony, everything. So the free gift I get is a poo pen. A poo pen. You just couldn't make it up. A poo pen. I've told you about the racist shit I'm getting. So give me a poo pen. A poo pen. And they're allowed to get away with it as well. Because it's somebody either high up or in royalty that is doing this to me and getting away with it. Simple. Or it's the mafia, the mob, the firm. Because my son said it's emergency that I move out of here for my safety. And yet again, another incident when I come home from the seaside, from these jealous monsters. Another incident. But I shan't be live streaming for a while. I don't think so, unless you want me to tape it and then somebody passes away afterwards. Something sinister going on. No, I don't give a shit. These people are going to get told. I ain't pussyfooting about. If someone's doing something that's pissing me off, I'm going to fucking tell them. See you later.